Nathan, a victory over Bolton on Tuesday night was a perfect response to Saturday's disappointment at Rotherham. There was an understandable outpouring of emotion at the end between you, the squad, and the travelling fans. Was that a build-up of anything? It was obviously understandable relief, I guess, but what was the basis of that outpouring?
Well, no. Look, we've been in good form lately, and Saturday we really let ourselves down, and the level of performance wasn't acceptable. We know that. They know that. They didn't need telling. We debriefed. We needed a reaction, and we got that. You know, it was a really difficult game on Tuesday against a side that's very difficult to play against because how the players they've got and the system they use. But I thought we were really good, denied them to very little, and then really kicked on. I mean, we conceded a goal which they'd think would be a good counter-attacking goal. We think we could have done better with it, but then look, we didn't drop our heads, got the win, and then it's kind of relief of that kind of appreciation, one for the travelling fans, to the level of performance, and sometimes sport's about emotion.
Absolutely. Many will look back at the changes that you made after about 70 minutes with Matty Chooks and Romani coming on just before Lloyd's equaliser. Personally, I thought 10 minutes before that, when you brought Karoy on, there seemed to be the spark a little bit that sort of started to change the momentum of the game, and then obviously when the three other changes came in, it completed that. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think we changed shape then, which is one thing. So when we changed shape, matched them up at midfield, so they couldn't really have patterns and things, and then we got a bit more of an impetus to be able to break off the back and create stuff ourselves, and we did. We had a real good spell where we scored. We could have scored again, and then finally, which led us into the opportunity to get the winner. So I think the change of shape, I definitely think personnel change did, but that gave us the impetus because a lot of people had done big shifts in the last few days. So it was really important, but that just emphasises the fact it's a squad game,
And then Croy getting the winner, big smile on his face. The team pushing in towards the fans for recognition. How long did that smile stay on his face for?
Not long actually. He's had a bit of a tough time, really. Personal issues and stuff. So it just shows the character of him, But he's wonderful for us. I love him. I love working with him every day. He wants to take on board. He wants to do stuff. Being a bit unfortunate to sort of come out with the team, but he's so important to us, especially moving forward. But delighted for him, and he did give us that drive. He always gives us that drive in midfield. I think we've got a real good balance in midfield with Connor and Doc that can do a bit of everything, but Connor's more of a sitter than Bez you've got, which is quality, and then Karoy that can do a bit of everything. So we've got some real good balance in there, and I said when we needed that bit of impetus, he came on and gave us that.
You mentioned about character afterwards and since the game Tuesday night, epitomised by Lloyd Jones, who admitted himself he had a tough day on Saturday, along with others of course, but had a tough day and he came back, and obviously the goal was a reward for that character, I guess.
Look, I think Lloyd's been in excellent form. When you're a centre half and they're asked to do what we want them to do, sometimes they've got to defend 1v1, sometimes they're on a knife edge, but we ask them to be brave and bold to step in because we're a really aggressive side, we're really, really aggressive side. I sometimes think we don't get the credit for that. A lot of teams play Bolton, for example, at home and sit back and allow them to do what they want. We went after them, and look, occasionally they beat our press, but we really demand from our players, and Lloyd's one of those. And Lloyd had a relatively poor game for him for the standards that he's now set. But he was literally back to default on Tuesday night, and it was a wonderful finish. I mean, it's really, really wonderful. The run is excellent. Kid stay on side, drifts in behind, and bearing in mind he does. He defends his box fantastically well, but he is a threat in the opposition box as well, and it's a wonderful finish, and it's not the first time he's done that.
We're just on the back of 3 tough away trips, long ones as well. We've now got 4 out of the next 5 at home. How important that's going to be?
Well, it'll be important that we capitalise. How important is we're home or not is nothing, but it's nice. It's nice enough because we've said probably the toughest week you can have as a League One side, really, going away to Preston, which is a tough place to go. They've showed them since our performance they've picked up 4 points on the road, and then you go to Rotherham, who are probably the form team at the minute, and then Bolton, that are very one of the best sides in the league. So it's been a real tough week, but we are looking forward to getting back to the Valley. But what we have to do is make sure that that we capitalise on that away performance and also the home games, because we've been away for a while now.
Taylor Edmonds just has left us permanently. Tony Taylor joins Nathan Simway out on loan, so the squad size has come down a little bit. Are you on track for where you want to be in the window so far?
Yeah, we are. Look, as you said, it's not a big window, but it is a big window. What we want to do is streamline the squad and then add quality. So at the minute we have streamlined the squad. We wish Teo all the best. He never dropped his head. He kept it. It just didn't work out for him here since obviously I came in, and that's, I make no apologies for that. And I spoke to him constantly. He trained well. We always included him, and we wish him all the best because he's a wonderful footballer. He really is a real wonderful footballer. Nathan needs it for the development, to go out and to play. He's behind a few here, so the best thing is for him to go to a really good place. And let's be honest, there's not many better places for him to go, especially in League Two, than Walsall, to learn his trade under a young manager who's doing very, very well, but also a side that's going to get promoted. So that's a great move for him. And then Terry was a real conundrum because he's really done well for us. When he's come in, he showed an immense professionalism, a character, a humility, and I've told him that. Told him that on many occasions, and I'm proud of how he's responded. He's been, really key to us. Some big wins, in terms of the FA Cup wins, in terms of the win away at Burton, and so on. So he's played his part for us. It's just we have a few midfield players. I would like to bring in something, but we have midfield players here now. With the more midfield players you have, every time someone has a poor game, we tend to change. Whereas now, I wanted to go with probably a slimmer selection in terms of the numbers, so that or a more streamlined selection, so that I put faith in these now, and then they have to respond and play well. Over a number of games, regardless if they play well, regardless if they play fantastic, they're going to get the shirt now, and it's up to those to nail it.
And talking about the squad, we've been lucky. Not lucky is probably not the right word, but we've been blessed with a fully fit squad in recent weeks. But the last couple of squads Gaston Hadmay hasn't figured. Is that selection, or has he picked up something? No,
look, we haven't been at full strength because obviously Tanner Watson and Kane Ramsey haven't been back to full fitness. They're now back to full fitness and back with the group. Gas, ironically, it was Tyrese that stepped on him in the warm up away at Preston, and then after the game his foot blew up, so that's why he's been out of the squad in the last two, sort of thing. Didn't travel with us and has been having treatment, but that's just a stamp on his foot, which has been a bit of pain. So as I said, he's closer than what he was last week, for example. But yeah, that it wasn't selection. That was he picked up a minor injury by being stamped on, really. I mentioned about the 4 games at the Valley coming up in 5. First of those, obviously, against Shrewsbury, a side that's just turned Wrexham over. So what are you expecting? Clearly a tough one. Well, it's Gareth Ainger's side, so there's zero. There'll be no quarter given. There'll be a side that will be well up for it. Had some fantastic battles with Gareth over the years, with his Wickham side and my Luton side, and I said he'd done wonderful. Great to see him back in, and it'd be good to see him, albeit it'd be good to see him probably for 5 minutes before the game, and then afterwards we always have mutual respect with us. I think with the faceless the competitors have been over the years. I used to mark him when he played for QPR, and his teams are an extension of him in terms of the work rate and the desire that they go about their work. So it'll be the toughest of games. I can't pay him any more respect in terms of that. I hold him in high regard because every time we've played a side managed by Gareth Ainsworth, it's a very tough afternoon.